Well, now I want to turn to our next segment of HO modeling. And Gary Sugarlow, MMR, is the host for this. But I first want to run the Mainline Hobby Supply video, who is our sponsor for this segment of the show.
Mainline Hobby Supply is your one-stop store for model trains in G, O, S, H, O, N and Z scales, including locomotives, rolling stock, track, train sets, and more to help build your model railroad. We are the largest model railroad shop in the area, and we carry a wide range of model railroad supplies across scales. Our friendly staff is always available to help with your modeling needs and to special order anything you may require. Mainline Hobby Supply is in southern Pennsylvania, halfway between Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. We are only an hour away from Baltimore, and we are easy to get to from the 70, 81, 83, and 270 freeways. Plan to stop by on your next trip through Pennsylvania. Mainline Hobby Supply also has an online store that can cater to your modeling needs wherever you are located. With our large inventory, fixed shipping costs, friendly and knowledgeable service and prompt shipping, consider Mainline Hobby Supply for your next online order. Use the QR code to access our online store.
Well, now I want to introduce Gary Sugarlow, who is the host for this segment of our show. Gary, welcome.
Thank you very much, Jim.
Yes, sir.
Tonight we're going to take a look at a HO scale railroad. Just let me share screen here. And this is the railroad is called the Red Barrel Railroad. Now, the reason it's called the Red Barrel Railroad is if after you watch this video, you'll see that just about every building that you see on this railroad has a red barrel somewhere near it or right beside it. So I'll get this started. Okay. Now, this is a two-layer railroad. It has an upper layer and a bottom layer, and the railroad itself is the upper and the bottom do not connect. I'm going to start the video, and as you watch the video, I'm going to let you know this is Casey Caceres Railroad, and Casey started building in 1972. It's in a room that is it's a double deck layout. It's in a room that's 28 by 36 feet. He models CN, as you can see. The top level is 60 inches from the floor to the upper level. It has 6 main lines, 106 feet long. The upper level is 600 feet of track. And this will be part 1. Part 2 will be next month. All the buildings on the layout are scratch built, or he has 150 Campbell kits on this layout that he's built, plus other manufacturers. There are over 1,000 cars, 400 plus engines, which are mostly scratch built and custom painted. Casey got interested in model railroading at the age of 9 with an American Flyer train set, and he never looked back. So as you watch this, keep an eye out for the barrels, and this is pretty impressive layout.
Gary, is this still American Flyer?
He has his original American Flyer, but this is HO scale
Okay.
that he runs. He doesn't have an American Flyer layout.
Okay.
What is impressive about this layout is Casey's got just about every Campbell kit that was ever built, and he's got some even duplicates, plus other manufacturers that build cell kits, and he's done a lot of scratch building also on the layout. The one thing when I was videotaping this layout, I'm actually walking around with my iPad in my hand. That's why you see the odd strange movement. And the video lasts about 13 minutes. And by the time I was finished doing the upper level, my arms were pretty sore. So when I do it in the future, I'm going to design a little cart thing that I can attach the unit to. And then
Gary, is this in his basement?
this is in his
No idea how
basement.
big it is?
Yeah, the room is 28 feet wide and 36 feet long.
Well, it's a beautiful, I mean, he's just done some beautiful modeling.
It is a very beautiful layout. It's totally completed. Casey spends a lot of his time building. He'll find a locomotive that he likes, CN style locomotive, and he'll end up kit bashing or scratch building it. And then he custom paints it and puts it on his layout. He's got just about every locomotive that I think CN ever ran in the phase one period,
Hmm.
the transition period.
That is something.
On the walls of his basement in this big room are all shelving. And all the shelving, you'll see it here as I move around, all the shelving is just full of either cars or locomotives. And Casey's very big on hooker cars. He has a huge collection of hooker cars, as you can see. Now, again, the locomotives you see, he's custom painted all of these.
Gary, what is hooker cars? I'm not
The
familiar with.
tank cars. See the tank cars that we're looking at, the little stubby tank cars?
Yeah,
They're the orange cars.
yeah.
Yeah, those are hookers.
Hmm.
Hooker cars, and he really enjoys them.
Boy, he's got a bunch.
Yeah, it's a to like the video doesn't do it justice. You have to go and walk into the room, and you're just totally amazed at what is there.
Oh gosh.
Gary, does he have a DCC system to run all this?
No, this is all done with DC. He, as I say, he has over 400 plus locomotives, and I think it would bankrupt him if he put DCC in each one of them. Now, as you can see it from some of his kits or buildings he's done. There's some derelict buildings on there that he's taken and made them into derelicts or burned out buildings, which is quite nice. Yeah, what you're looking at is the upper level And the bottom level is just as impressive, but that'll be next month in part 2.
Do the two levels connect?
No, they're totally separate. The upper level is totally independent of the lower level. And he can run multiple trains on both levels all at the same time. I don't know why he didn't connect the two. I didn't ask him. Casey's a member of our Chatham Model Railroad Club, has been for a number of years. And he, as you can see, he is a beautiful modeler.
He really is.
Well, I think all the time it would take to build all those Campbell kits, who can fit in a helix if you're doing that?
Yeah. Yeah, he has built every Campbell kit that was on the market.
That's a lot of shingling.
You're right. I'm sorry there's no sound on part 2. There is sound because they're
Gary, how many years or how much time did it take him to build it?
he's been building this since 1972.
Jeez.
As I say, the upper level has over 600 feet of track. Lower level has 800 feet of track. Now, the number of automobiles that are on his layout, I have no idea. I don't even think.
That was my next question because I've
Yeah.
been trying to count them. It's long.
I don't even think he knows how many vehicles he has. And also, it's as you can see as we go through this, there are lots of people
Yeah.
and dinosaurs. You're looking at the dinosaur exotic area.
It's like a local petting zoo.
That little park down in Florida, just around I forget where it is. It's off the main highway that goes to Orlando, or not Orlando. Not terrible. Anyway, they have the dinosaur park, and you go in there and you can walk through, and I think that's what he modeled it after. ITLA buildings. Yeah, I, I must apologize. This is the lower level we're seeing. I thought I started with the upper, but I started with the lower. Now, if you look off in the distance, you can see some of the shelving and some of the equipment he does. He builds a lot of flat cars with very interesting loads.
Yeah. It's just beautiful modeling. Unbelievable.
So you can walk all the way around this, right? It's
You
sort
can
of
walk all
freestanding in the middle.
right. You can walk all the way around. And what's nice is when you go out to the outer wall, where I am now, there's actually he's built this little bench that drops down so you can stand up and get up and get a nice view of the upper level. But this is the bottom of the, I'm sorry, we started with the bottom level first. And you can see the lighting underneath, which lights everything.
Yeah.
So everything that's on the bottom level here is all lit up. That's Casey. You can just standing over there. Here's the buildings. There's the interesting Labatt's truck. And he has the
Clydesdales there, I see. them.
Clydesdale
Yeah.
wagon and beer wagon. Yeah, he's built a lot of Jordan. There's Jordan on here, City Classics, and a lot of other things. I had noticed when I was going around, there's a couple of the vehicles I noticed that he had obtained from myself that I had built. And here we are back into the hooker cars. As they say, there's hooker cars everywhere.
Why do they call them hooker carts?
That was the name of them. It was the Hooker Company. I guess they transported oil,
Okay.
and he is really big on it. This should be coming up to the end. This is his turntable. As we see next week in part 2, this is the end. We'll see in July the 10th, we'll have part 2. And there's actually in part 2, I asked him if we could run trains through it. And there's quite some interesting running equipment that you'll see on his layout. I'm not going to give away the surprise, but next month when you tune in, we'll be able to see something very, very interesting that runs around his layout.
Well, thank him so much for sharing this with us through you, because he's done a fantastic job. It's just no other way to put it.
Well, thank you very much, Jim. It is a beautiful layout, and it should be seen by as many people as possible.
Absolutely. Anybody have any questions for Gary?
Jim Hooker was a chemical company.
Right.
So these were chemical cars.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if he ever has to clean truck.
Out to what I was just thinking.
I've never asked him, but anytime we've been there, and Casey's been in the club for just as long as I have. And every time we go over, the trains run flawlessly. So I don't know what he does, but there's never stalling, there's never derailments. So it's
Gary, thanks so much. Gary, thanks so much for sharing it with us this evening. Look forward to seeing the rest of it next time.
July.
Yes, sir.
I
Thank you.
thank you very much.